Okay, people, so it's late at night here in the UK, but we have to make a quick video because we cannot go to sleep without talking about the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, Apple have just done its Glow Time event where they announced all of their latest Apple products, including the Apple Watch Series 10, a new version of the Apple Watch Ultra, the AirPods version 4, and an upgrade for the AirPods Pro. But then they announced their iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro, which they always leave till the last bit because it's the thing that everyone wants to hear about. And to be honest, I was really impressed with the updates, specifically for the iPhone 16. Now, what normally happens is the iPhone 16 normally gets sort of the scraps from the Pro model from the previous year. So I expected the iPhone 16 to get the A17 chip, which is in my my iPhone 15 Pro here. I expected it to get the action button like the iPhone 15 Pro, and that is really all I expected the iPhone 16 to get. And then I expected everything else to go to the Pro models. But the iPhone 16, the base model, not the Pro, the iPhone 16, has got the A18 chip. So it skipped 2 generations and jumped all the way up to the 18 chip, the A18 chip. It has also got a new camera button on the side down by where the action button is, where you can just capture quick photos by pressing that. And it also has a little haptic feedback on it where you press that button and you can sort of light press it to get the touch controls for your camera. So when you press that button on the side, it very lightly has haptic feedback and it gives you control over the shutter speed, the aperture, the depth of field, different camera modes, all of that sort of thing. And it's a really, really good thing to have on the iPhone 16 base model. Also, the iPhone 16 has got all the cameras from the iPhone 15 Pro minus the zoom lens, the telephoto lens. So it's got the 48 megapixel fusion camera, and it's also got the wide angle camera, which doubles up as a macro camera. So it's got everything that you really need. Also, it also gets USB-C, which I think was on the iPhone 15 last year, but it also gets the Apple Intelligence updates. So all of the Apple Intelligence updates that they're putting in their phones are going to the 16 and the 16 Pro. So really, for what you're going to need a phone for, the iPhone 16 is pretty much going to become the gold standard now for pretty much everything that you need to use a phone for. It's got the good cameras, it's got Apple Intelligence, it's got the camera button for you to do all the camera features with, and it's got pretty much everything else that most 95% of people are going to use their mobile phone for. You can get on the iPhone 16. So that is what I was really impressed with. Now, with the iPhone 16 Pro, I'm not completely convinced with the upgrades on that version because it's got a new A18 Pro chip, which is meant to be a lot better than the A18 chip. But I think for what 90% of us are using it for, I don't think you need that much extra power. Also, the one thing I will be using, however, and the one thing that I will be upgrading for is 4K ProRes log RAW at 120 frames per second. So you can get that nice super slow motion when you have an external device plugged in. And that is going to be really, really good for higher quality video. Now, there's still no 8K on the iPhone. I was hoping for 8K. There's still no 8K because what you wanted to do is record at 8K at like 30 frames per second and then slow it down and then compress it to 4K so you've got this great 4K image, but it didn't have that. So still no 8K, but it does have upgraded cameras. You are getting the 5 times camera on the Pro model now. This iPhone 15 Pro has a 3 times zoom, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max had a 5 times zoom. Now you get the 5 times zoom on both cameras, not just on both phones, sorry, not just the Pro Max model. So the size is just the size. There's nothing extra that I got from that presentation that you get on the Pro Max compared to the Pro. Now, they did say the screen sizes are bigger. This one is 16.1, so 6.1 inches. They're saying that the iPhone 16 Pro is 6.3 inches, so it's slightly bigger. And you get slightly thinner bezels. But when you look at them side by side, and I've seen this already from people that have compared it side by side, if you look at the 15 Pro and the 16 Pro side by side on Apple's website, you can't really tell the difference in bezel thinness, in honest opinion. The phone is ever so slightly bigger, not much, but slightly bigger in the hand. It's still got the same titanium design, same curved edges. It's got upgraded cameras, so it's got a 5 megapixel zoom lens. It's got a 48 megapixel wide angle now, so that is going to be a phenomenal macro lens. And then the 48 megapixel fusion camera, which is also on the iPhone 16. So it looks like it's got a few little upgrades, but nothing game changing. Now, do I recommend you upgrade? Obviously, I haven't tested it yet. I've got to pre-order this like you on Friday and then get it on the 20th of September when it is released. But looking at the upgrade, so I get my phone upgraded every single year, so that on release date, so that I can test it for all of you and see what it's like in a real world scenario. But for the average person, do I recommend you upgrade to the iPhone 16 Pro if you've already got a 15 Pro? Now, unless you're on a yearly upgrade contract like what I'm on, then I don't really think it's going to be worth it. Now, the reason why I got the 15, because it was such a big upgrade over the 14, because the 14 Pro was still using the lightning cable. It had the big chunky thick edges. It just didn't have the titanium finish, didn't have the thinner bezels. There was a lot to it that was really put into the 15 Pro that made it a worthy upgrade. The 16 Pro is more like a minor spec bump over the 15 Pro. Now, if you've got a 14 Pro or a 14 or 13 or something earlier than that, then yes, I would recommend you upgrade to the 16 Pro. But if, like me, you've just got the 15 Pro, then I wouldn't say it's going to be a game changer for you. But one thing that is going to be good is that 4K 120 frames per second. That is really, for me, going to be the, and Apple Intelligence. So all the Apple Intelligence features and the 4K 120, I think, are going to be the only two things that are really going to make a big difference. Everything else, what you use your phone for on a daily basis, for 90% of people, I don't think is going to be a huge upgrade. It's more of a minor spec bump once they've had such a big upgrade last year. The iPhone 16, though, if you've got something like the 12 or 13 or something like that, the iPhone 16 is going to be the phone that you are going to want to get. So I highly recommend you look into that. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. And if you want all the latest reviews on camera gear, the iPhone 16 Pro when it comes out, I will be doing an unboxing. I'll be doing a full review on it. As soon as I get it, as soon as the release date is here, I'll be getting it. So if you want all the latest reviews on that and you want to see more videos on that, then please subscribe to the channel below because it helps me out. And if you want to know how to grow on YouTube and want all the latest tech news, then that's the reason why you want to be subscribed to my channel. But in the meantime, just stay tuned for that iPhone 16 Pro video. I look forward to getting it. 4K 120. That's going to look good.